at the rails, event. The rail industries at the Black House on Alameda. Y'all the both of us together. On this one, no, so I actually have the young ladies, they just did I see the same concept, so you go together, so we have to do it. And I'm sorry, can we need support? See, I ain't gonna. Okay. Let's see. So yeah, I'm gonna miss this way. Different reason why it's from, when I got married, I'm gonna move this to be. Or the other day, really, I don't think because my dad, used to work at the city on the streets, like Taylor Street, and I was pretty sure, but we probably go around. Yeah, it was, I was yesterday, and the person had, I was trying to get a person before they something that happened. One of the things I had talking with the largest address, like 65 or whatever, further people and further out. Smaller the numbers are, 9 regions there, 3 of that, I'm close to each. So that's one of the so they don't get a $100. And because he did work for the city and work on the streets and things, I got a lot of people swing branch lines. And so, and this is. And he said, well, where are you? He told me literally, the street out home, this around the corner, that's right there, it's that right there, because of him working for the city and noise. And so I kind of picked that up no matter where I'm at. I have an idea of where I'm at now home. So South even or West, but I just, him teaching us that. And it's only people that are here in Houston. It's funny because I figured they might have to do this thing. Well, yeah, we just ever. I'm like, I don't mean been here. I mean, I just want. They need some.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get started. I apologize for the delay. We had to work on the technical issues this morning. So, for those, thank you guys for being here. Of course, thank you for our newest guest. This is Thursday morning breakfast. We're here every Thursday morning, trying to do our part to be the bridge between all of the good that goes on in the city and those that need that good to be done in their lives. Last week, we talked about the changing landscape in America as it relates to grassroots Black communities and grassroots communities of other people if they don't have a bunch of money. If you don't have a lot of money, if you don't have a lot of resources, then America is changing, and those changes are not going to be pro you. And of course, that includes a large number of people who look like me. So one of the things that we talked about, we focused on 5 key areas that our people, grassroots communities, absolutely need to be plugged into, which is how we're going to feed ourselves if everything is changing as relates to food and support, how we're going to protect what we grow, how we're going to have our own businesses, which is why you're here this morning, how we're going to be more politically involved and engaged, and how we're going to train our youth to understand you got to have some power in this world if you're going to make sure you can protect your own. So we're going to have a series of conversations with people going in all of those 5 areas. And of course, this morning, we're going to talk to the Sister Laverne Moore, who's going to talk more about the importance of entrepreneurship in general, but specifically in Black spaces, and how you can get involved in what she does in real estate, which is a real estate advisor, correct? As well as how you can be a part of making sure that people have proper legal representation and get paid from helping people in that process. So she's going to cover those 3 things, and then we're going to go from there and continue to build upon people who are already doing the do. We don't have time to really try and learn about all this stuff. on the fly. We got to find people who know what they're doing and then follow their lead moving forward. So on that note, I'm going to turn it over to Sister Laverne Moore. Y'all give her a round of applause, and she's going to do her thing this morning.
Thank you so much, Brother Tamani. I appreciate everything you're doing in the community. Again, my name is Laverne Moore. I'm an entrepreneur. I've been a real estate agent for about 10 years. I've worked in corporate America for over 30 plus years. I'm a mom, I'm a grandmother, I'm a sister, I'm an aunt. I'm all of those things that we are part of in our community, but any community. The funny part about being an entrepreneur right now today is working in corporate America for over 30 something years, I realized that it was a lot more to life than just that. Married for over 20 something years, you learn in every industry that you're in. So building wealth is not easy. And it's funny because a lot of people think Black people are lazy, where we're not. The funny thing is my mother was actually a caretaker. She would go into other people's homes and clean and take care of their children. That may not be the case for us nowadays, because as we grow older and we learn from the things our parents did, we want to, when you have children, you always want your children to do better than what you did.
That's
so
right.
Even though they did those things, they fed their families. Me working in corporate America with a husband, we fed our family. But you do have to do what you have to do for your children, for your families. And building wealth is not overnight, unless you find that diamond that you can get to. Nowadays, it may be easier than it was back then. But all of it is just about just taking a step and being open to the things that people bring to you. Ownership. I actually own my home. Thank God. That was also because I was married at the time. And again, 30, 40 years ago, houses definitely did not cost as much as they cost these days. So yeah, it is easier to have a spouse or a significant other or someone that you can work with to build wealth, whether it's buying a house, whether it's buying a house or buying real estate. And because I am a real estate agent, that's one of the things that I love about real estate, is helping people get into houses. And there's so many opportunities out there. If you never connect with people, talk to people. I love learning from people, old and young, seasoned and young. So regardless of age, I love to talk to people, different ethnicities, different backgrounds, because you can't stay in your own little box and learn about the things that entrepreneurs know about.
Yep.
We have, as an entrepreneur, I have to be open to hear some of the things that people are a part of. If you could change the screen, Brother Tamani. I have to be open to opportunities. A lot of times we're afraid of opportunities because we get set in those boxes of, I need a job. I gotta work. A lot of people don't want to work 2 and 3 jobs. We're doing good to stay on one job. And nowadays, it's definitely, you don't stay on jobs 20 and 30 years like we used to back in the days that we worked. So entrepreneurship creates general wealth. Ownership builds long-term economic stability. Businesses create jobs. So just like owners have jobs, businesses create jobs, whether it's small or large. A lot of times it's just about finding a job that you can enjoy. Entrepreneurs inspire the next generation. A lot of people be like, oh, you're an entrepreneur. You probably work harder than I do in a job, but not necessarily. The difference is I actually make my own hours. I may say, hey, I want to go out to lunch. I want to go out to breakfast. I want to do all this the first half of the day. And then the second half of the day, where some people are still working and then working a second job, that's where my business come in. Even now, the business that I am, it's about having number one, boundaries. So if you are an entrepreneur, you can't let anybody into your space to where you still have to work. If you are an entrepreneur, you still have to like right now, I do real estate and I do legal shield and I do a couple other things where I have time for this, I have time for that, I have time for that. Again, one of the things I love about being entrepreneurs is because I can go visit family. I can go have breakfast and lunch with different people. My granddaughter comes down, I can say, hey, when are you coming? So I can make sure I schedule that out. Next page, Mr. My brother Armand, brother T. So the power of ownership. When you own a business, you control your income. People say, oh, that's a pyramid when you, some of the businesses that you take part in. Well, a pyramid is a triangle. As an employee, you're at the bottom of that triangle, and you have managers, CEOs, and you have business owners. The difference in some of the businesses that I'm in, well, in that triangle, the business I am, I started here, but I'm helping push people up. I'm not trying to keep anyone down because as an entrepreneur, people can make the type of money they want to make, not only the type of money that a company says you can make. So businesses also can ownership creates yes.
Real quick, and if people think about it, they often miss the fact that every organization is a pyramid.
Exactly.
Every last one of them.
Exactly.
It just depends on where you are and the opportunity to not always be at the bottom.
Exactly.
So that's the beauty of that.
And the funny thing about that, even when I worked at corporate America, I didn't even want to get up to the top. I didn't want to become a manager just because of the red tape.
Yep.
As a business owner, I can control that. I can control who I work with. So if I don't want to work, in another example, I work with people where I might have been the only person actually literally working the job. And other people around me had businesses that they were on that job working their business. So at least as an entrepreneur, I can choose who I work with. I can choose, and 9 times out of 10, if it's my business and it's something they don't want to do, say for instance, if they're just there for the money, if they're not coachable, if they're not, don't believe in the mission and the vision that you have on that job or in that business, they're not going to stay anyway. So when you say, so when I say work with, you get to choose who you work with. Again, owner creates assets that can be passed down. So you can't pass down when you're on the job. You can only pass down the amount of money that you save and earn, but it's so hard to save as much as, I mean, we all in here, I'm sure, want more because we have visions, we have missions that we want to fund.
Yeah.
And if you only get paid $15 an hour, $30, I'm now not going to job because I did it for 30 something years. But again, a lot of times we don't realize that we can do something on the side of that. So at some point, things will change and we don't have to stay on that job 30, 40, 50, 60 years. Because I know people that are still 70 and still working on a job. So businesses strengthen the local community. Entrepreneurship builds leadership and influence. There's so many people that are realtors. There's so many people that have businesses that if you talk to those people, they can tell you about their journey and it can help lead you and guide you, learn from them to not do the things that they did that didn't get them there. Next page. So yes, so historical challenges, limited access to capital and funding. A lot of times when you are an entrepreneur, you do come in contact just being out and about with people. I know hard money lenders. I know talk to banks. Just so many people that can help you with those things. Less access to, go ahead.
Can you define what you mean by a hard money lender?
Hard money lenders, there are so many people that have the access to the money, whether it's their money or whether they come together with their monies to lend you the money to buy a multi-level property, whether they give you the money to start a bank or business. There's a lot of different ways now. You don't just have to go to the bank for those resources.
Is it difficult to find those kinds of lenders?
It's not at all. Again, because I do a lot of networking, so I know some of them.
Okay.
And then just most realtors, not necessarily, but if you talk to some mortgage people, some of those people know other hard money lenders. It's funny because I actually used to have a cousin that was a CEO or president of some company. And he had money that he wanted to put into, buying property or helping, Laverne, if you know some properties, I can help you get into that.
Okay.
So you just have to talk to people to know where those funds are.
Okay. And real quick, as it relates to, how long have you been an entrepreneur?
Oh, Lord. I want to say maybe 16 years.
Okay.
I did not realize, I think a lot of people don't realize when you're children and you're selling cookies out your backpack.
Sure.
Or your grandparents that might have had a store on the corner.
That's a part of it, yeah.
That's being an entrepreneur, but we didn't know that.
Right.
We just know, oh, my grandmother used to sell, not ice pops, what do you call it? Cool cups.
Okay.
But we didn't think that that's what they were, entrepreneurs, but they were.
Sure.
And so when a lot of our not my generation, our generation, younger, my children, when they're wanting to do something other than working, it's because they saw that in our families.
Yep.
They just didn't know that it was being an entrepreneur and they don't have the guidance to take them to the place to do what they want to do.
Right.
So again, it's about networking, getting out there and getting connected to the people that can help you get to where you want to be. Being open and not being afraid of some of the things that can get you there.
Okay. Can you specifically talk about maybe 2 or 3 of your personal battles and experiences with starting out as an entrepreneur and how you got over those obstacles. Because a lot of people say that they want to be in business, they want to own their own business, but they don't understand that there's work involved
There is.
and that there are going to be obstacles. Can you talk a little bit about your personal experience and how you
Yes, there is. And it's funny because I remember doing Mary Kay back in the day. I remember Princess House, Tupperware. All of those are businesses that you can own. And I've been a part of a few of them. A lot of businesses is all about being open to learn what they have to offer.
Okay.
So even in Mary Kay, where I thought that's something I wanted to do because I've always worn makeup, I've always worn the skincare, and I probably wore it for about 10 years before I actually said, let me just do Mary Kay.
Mhm.
And it's funny because the young lady that was always selling me Mary Kay, she was like, I said, why you just not telling me about this? She's like, girl, I told you 10 years ago. Well, what is it they say? When the student is ready, the teacher will appear.
Right.
So if you just get involved in, like, there's coffee businesses, there are nutritional businesses, there are legal businesses, there's real estate. Just get involved in whatever it is that you like to do. Mm-hmm. And you'll learn, even in that community, you have mentors and people that teach you how to sell the product.
Right.
A lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to sell. We sell every day.
Every day.
We come out to the restaurants, we don't realize we're selling it. We go to a movie and talk about it. We don't realize we're selling it. We're just not getting paid. Mm-hmm. And so if you choose something that you like, whether it's coffee, whether it's nutritional, whether it's exercising, because I do Pilates as well.
Okay.
Talk about Pilates all the time.
As a business or just for personal benefit?
For personal use, for health-wise.
Okay.
Because you have to be healthy to do anything. You have to be healthy to get up and go to work.
Your health is your wealth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I talk about Pilates all the time. They don't pay me.
Right.
So again, we are all advertising somebody something.
That's right.
We're just not getting paid for it. We're just not the owners of that. So choose something you like to do. Find wherever it is you can work, being in your own business, because they have small businesses, they have MLMs, and I don't know why people are afraid of MLMs.
And what is the name of it?
Multi-level marketing just means I'm marketing my product.
Mm-hmm.
I'm marketing my service. So you choose which product you want to market. You're either marketing somebody else's product. I stay over here in this lease and they getting paid because I'll give you $300 if you get people to come and move in this apartment.
Referral fee.
Referral fee.
Yeah.
So same difference with a multi-level marketing. But again, when you find something that you like to do, you never have to tell anyone about it. Mm-hmm. It's only multi-level marketing when you choose to share what you do with someone else. Mm-hmm. You don't never have to share it. But if I believe in the service that I provide, then I'm going to share it. So why not share it and get paid for it? Yeah. Again, I love eating, which is why I Pilates, but I can go on about everything. So let me go to the next one. Despite this, Black entrepreneurs continue to rise. So we do continue to rise because there's so many different businesses out there. And so it's just about getting connected to those things that you are comfortable with or enjoy doing. Next slide.
How can a person transfer that MLM, multi-level marketing, network marketing, whatever it's called, whatever you want to call it, that experience to a more traditional mom and pop brick store kind of operation? Are there some skills that you've learned that can be transferred into more traditional business?
Yeah. So in multi-level marketing, a lot of it is about the culture. It's not always about the product, because there are people in multi-level marketing that are there for the camaraderie. Okay. Not necessarily even for the service. Mm-hmm. They're there for the knowledge that you bring. Because you, as an entrepreneur, you're going to get stronger. You're going to build that muscle in saying, hey, I need to pay my bills today. I need to pay my bills this month. When you take it to a traditional job, they're going to ask you to work hard, work long hours. You're already used to that as an entrepreneur. Yeah. Because whether you're getting paid, a lot of people is like, I want a check every 2 weeks. Right. You learn as an entrepreneur that you still got to do the work. Mm-hmm. Still got to get up at 8 o'clock or whatever time you choose to get up. Yeah. And do the work. Okay. Did I answer your question?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so real estate is one of the strongest paths to wealth. I've been a real estate agent for, again, about 10 years. I was working at a nonprofit organization when I started, And I knew when you work at a nonprofit organization, they usually have a certain period of time that they have contracts. So you already know they're only going to keep you so long. But real estate is going nowhere. There's always houses, there's always land, whether it's here in Houston, Texas, or other states. It's just a matter of figuring out how do you get into that realm of real estate. Whether being and a lot of people ask me about being a real estate agent. A real estate agent is still work because you still have to talk to people. Our most valuable commodity is our time and us as individuals. So as a real estate agent, I still have to talk to people. Some people I don't like to talk to people. People is what's here in the world.
Yeah. And you do it every day.
Yeah, exactly.
You still think about
and you don't think about it because you're going to pass a house. You're going to be like, oh, I like that house. Oh, I like that land. Oh, I don't like that city. I don't, you're involved in real estate every day. It's just a matter of whether you become a real estate agent, want to buy a property, want to rent a property. And so it's just about being involved. Owning property creates equity and long-term. I tell people, it doesn't matter how old you are, as long as God allows you to be here on this earth, you still have time to buy. Because some people they don't want to buy, I'm too old. Well, again, what if God still allows you another 20 years?
Right.
You're still here, you might as well buy something.
Yeah.
And nowadays, rent is steady going up and up and up.
Mm-hmm.
So why not use that same amount of money that you're paying in rent to buy a house?
Right.
At some point, you're going to pay that house off. Get with the right people, the right companies that say, hey, I can help you pay that house off in 5-10 years as opposed to 30-40 years. Take the equity out, go and buy something else. Or even if you just want to move into something else, sell that house and move on, that's possible to do, or rent it out. A lot of people that are doing all of those things is because they were open to hear how they could do it.
Mm-hmm. Is there a difference between being an advisor, an agent, and a broker? Are those three separate things?
You know what? I believe it just kind of depends. A broker, number one, is like for instance, you have the Keller Williams, Gary Greens. I'm with Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm. So with Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm, we're a company that we're trendsetter in the market. We make sure that we have everything in place so that our real estate agents are connected to the different communities.
Okay.
When you have a real estate agent in Katy, in Spring, in Cypress, or whatever, or even in another city, because some people are licensed in different states. With the company that you're with, you just have to make sure they put you in the best light possible.
Okay.
For instance, we have what's called our real estate summit once a year.
Okay.
At that real estate summit, we bring out everyone that's part of the home buying process, so that you can come out and learn about the different lenders that are out there. You come out and learn about the different builders that are out there.
Okay.
Everything that's part of the home buying process or investing is at that real estate summit.
Okay.
So it's just best to get connected with the right broker.
Okay.
And when you're a real estate agent under that broker, of course, everybody's bringing something to the table, selling houses, and the broker gets paid. The real estate agent is kind of like the worker under the broker.
What's the primary role of the broker, the primary role of the agent?
So the primary role of the broker is, I believe, is to basically make sure that all of the agents are knowledgeable and are knowledgeable and learning everything they need to do the business, to sell real estate the right way.
Okay.
We have awesome mentorship and awesome coaching at our broker.
Okay.
For me, I was at one big company and you can kind of get lost in a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And I was with a kind of a small boutique company. You can still kind of get lost there. And then you have to find a company, a broker that is going to train you, going to mentor you, and just going to be there for you to help you through the process. Because number one, I tell people all the time, you can't complain about this company and that company because you're the company.
Mm-hmm.
So as a real estate agent, I need to make sure that I'm learning from my brokerage. I'm taking the classes, the seed classes, doing whatever I need to do to make sure I'm doing the right thing for my clients.
Okay. And is an advisor and an agent the same thing?
And for the most part, it's just a matter of how we work with our clients.
Okay.
Whether they consult with us on, I should buy here, I should buy there, consulting, basically getting to know your needs as an individual and helping guide you through that process.
Is one easier than the other, advisor and agent?
Well, when you say easier than the other, it's just a matter of
As far as getting into that space.
No,
they're pretty much the same.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's just about being an ethical, agent that's actually guiding and helping your client.
Okay.
Yeah. Again, home ownership builds generational wealth. And then our next page is my journey. So again, I transitioned from corporate world into entrepreneurship. became a real estate agent for helping families build wealth. The great thing about another one of the things that I love about what I do is through the years, when I first started real estate, I was doing all the, hustling, what they call it, working hard. So now at this stage, I actually have people that call me and say, hey, can you help me? So I get referrals. Again, even just me being out networking with people, it's a matter of letting people know what I do.
Yeah.
Because if your mouth is closed and you're not talking about what you do, then no one knows what you do. No one knows I'm a real estate agent.
Right.
No one knows I am a legal consultant. No one knows I know how to trade a little bit with Bitcoin. So it's just a matter again about being open to what's out there. There's so many resources, so many people that do so many different things. It's about being open to the opportunities and not being afraid. God doesn't give us the spirit of fear, but power, love, and a sound mind. So if we take the words that we've been taught all of our lives, we take the word from the Bible and apply it. It's not just about knowledge, but it's applying the knowledge. Because we can learn all the time and all day, but if we don't actually take a step in that direction, we'll never change or get anywhere. So again, you can become a real estate professional helping families build wealth. Also work as a legal consultant helping families protect families. A lot of people, we're not used to using attorneys, number one, because they cost a lot. And if we make $30 an hour, if an attorney costs $300 an hour, well, that's the whole day's work right there. So that's one of the things we're not used to using. Even me myself, even though I used to have the services when my children were not little, but in high school going to college, but we saw the value in it. So now the last couple of years, me having that as a business, I still see the value in it. I can just pick up the phone call, and it makes so much more sense to pick up a phone and call and ask an attorney to look over this document before I sign. The wealthy do it. And a lot of, whether it's buying a cell phone or leasing a property, attorneys are the ones that create those documents. So why not have attorneys look over them for you? And it's funny because we also have legal shield and identity shield. And now so many people, we're afraid of, everybody's calling us from all over the place, calling us, texting us. And so we think everything is a scam. A lot of it is. And so one of the things with ID Shield is I have all my information there so that I have someone looking at my information and protecting it. Years ago, before I had Legal Shield, someone accessed my debit card. And I'm like, how'd they get it? It's in my pocket.
Right.
And the bank said, that's just what they do. So now I have something that alerts me when someone has access to, whether it's social media, my banking information, checking information, anything. I have someone watching it for me.
Okay. Is that an expensive service?
It's not expensive at all. And when people say, "Oh, I don't want to pay that a month," well, you pay Netflix monthly.
Yes, you do.
There's a monthly fee. I think maybe it's a yearly fee to go to Costco. But our insurance, our car insurance, our house insurance, Legal Shield can actually tie those things together. So when there's a claim that our insurance doesn't want to pay, Legal Shield can come in and step in and say, well, wait a minute, I think I'm supposed to be paying this. So let us look at it, when we have a conversation with that attorney. Legal Shield can just look over everything they're going to do. Again, it's about being proactive before you sign on the dotted line. Because a lot of times we just used to signing on the dotted line.
Yeah, and don't read much of anything.
Yeah. It's funny because a young man was saying yesterday, one of his clients, because if you don't know, you don't know, and people just take advantage of you of us. So this couple owned some property, and this oil and gas company, somebody wanted to come in and just drill on their property. Well, of course, okay, they're gone. Because for instance, right now, there's a company that's coming on my property wanting to bury cable, and it's another one of those internet companies.
Okay.
Where for the other people's property, they was about to allow someone to come in, but they needed to sign a contract. They tap the app, because it's just the app you tap. They tap the app and send it to their attorneys. The attorney says, no, wait a minute, don't sign that. This is what you need to take out. This is what they need to do. And at the end of the day, now they actually are making $780 because they evidently were drilling for oil or something. I don't know all the details of it. Okay. But again, it's about being proactive and not reactive.
Right.
So let's see. And so, so our mission again is to educate and empower our community. So again, matters, entrepreneurship needs legal guidance. As an entrepreneur, I have like a home-based business plan because as a real estate agent and a legal shield consultant, I want to make sure that what I'm doing is right. So when I have questions, I can always call my attorneys. Identity theft can damage finances and credit. So one of the things I love watching is my credit score on my identity theft app because it reminds me, oh, you don't have it up to this point yet. And just so happened the other day, I got a text from some company that said you owe this and you need to pay that. Click on this app. And I'm thinking, now I know I'm up on all my bills and things. Who's trying to say I didn't pay something? Because you can forget something you didn't do 20 years later. Yeah. So it's funny because I called Identity Shield and they said, ma'am, we don't see any of that anywhere. Don't click on it. Right. And so it seemed like suddenly it doesn't even come to me. Yeah. So that may be one of the things that they're doing. But anyway, protection services help entrepreneurs to focus on our growth. And one of the things with Legal Shield and ID Shield, because anytime someone is trying to scam you or something's going on, it helps us to focus on our business and what we're doing for everyday life and not to focus on issues and things that somebody can be taken care of.
Right. And to that note, we also got to remember that people, especially our people, we pay for what we want. Mm-hmm. And beg for what we need. Yes. So, like you said, Netflix. There's money there. You just got to decide on what you want.
What you want to do, exactly. Yes. So awesome. Thank you. Next page. So, examples of Black entrepreneurship. Again, real estate professionals. There's so many barbershops and beauty shops and businesses. It's funny talking about barbershops and beauty shops. The lady that has done my hair, my daughter's hair, probably for the last 20 years. At some point, my particular beautician got out the business and was tired, and she was like, well, now I need to go get a job to make up the difference because she was tired of being on her feet all day. And just like a job, some businesses you do need to have multiple streams of business. Yeah. Because income. Yeah, and exactly. Yeah. Income. Because at some point you may say, I'm tired of doing that. So have different things going on, and they don't all have to be standing on your feet. Mm-hmm. Restaurants and local stores. One of the ways we help with Legal Shield with businesses is because a lot of businesses are not lasting as long as they could because it might have been one lawsuit or one something that took them out. So to have that service for your business is great because now you have attorneys that you call and ask questions of. And so, oh my goodness, I was going to say one more thing. Also with businesses, we also do employee benefits. So there's a lot of big companies that have Legal Shield as employee benefits. Okay. I think it's either Methodist, Memorial Hermann, Lululemon is one of the companies that actually have us in as employee benefits. So yeah, it were out there. I think as a direct salesperson, when I talk to people, they're just nervous about hearing about it because a lot of those companies they may not be a part of. Right. I have one guy that works for one of the memorials, one of the hospital systems. He's like, oh man, I've used it for years. I'm always trying to tell people you need to at least get it on the job because now you have access to the services. Yeah. And then he used it for someone actually brought him into a civil suit. And he didn't have to pay anything. He said all I had to do was show up in court. Yeah. But that's the power of having an attorney. Yeah. Well, we think that we need an attorney when something bad happens, but that's not necessarily the case. Again, it's about being proactive. And then online businesses and technology startups. Now we're in the AI season. Yeah. So you can't be scared of online. And even when people say, oh, I'm not on Facebook, I'm not on social media, I don't want to do all of that. But the thing is, whenever you hand your driver's license or credit card over to whether it's a hospital system, a restaurant, you don't know where that information is going. Sure. And so it's better to be safe and just have some type of protection as opposed to just, we're so used to doing it and not worrying about it. So, and the next page was that.
Quick question. Have you by chance as a real estate professional and or a legal shield consultant or any of the other businesses that you've done, have you by chance over the last, 5, 6, 7 years noticed certain opportunities in Black spaces, Black communities where Black people can take advantage of if you were simply paying attention to those things?
Yeah. So a lot of times there are a lot of opportunities out there. Mm-hmm. A lot of people, especially our 20, 30, some 40 and 50-year-olds are not trying to get jobs. Okay. But again, they may not have the capital, the money to be able to get into some of those businesses. There are some online businesses like Legal Shield,
Mhm.
that doesn't cost an arm and a leg.
Okay.
You just have to be open to just do it. A lot of times people want to come in and do their own thing, but if you've never done that thing, then it's best to be coachable to just do that thing.
Okay.
And again, the traffic, I live way south,
Mhm.
it's come way north. The traffic going south was lots.
Right.
And I'm like, Lord, this is why I'm so happy and grateful that I do not have to be in this traffic every day.
That drive.
Oh my God, yes. But anyway, that's one of the joys I enjoy about being an entrepreneur and working from home.
Okay.
And even a real estate agent, I talk to people at home. During COVID, it was funny. A lot of people were like, "Oh, it's COVID. Nobody's buying houses." I sold a house.
Okay.
No matter what market we're in,
Yeah.
people got money.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of what people want to do.
Sure.
They might want to buy a house. They might want to move into a multiplex property. There's people are still living.
Yeah.
It's just those people that are afraid to do anything that get stuck.
Yep.
And not doing anything.
Yeah. And unfortunately, like the sister who did your hair for so many years.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, especially for us sometimes, or even poor entrepreneurs who are trying to come up, we never think about the future.
Right.
We don't think about what am I going to do 5, 10, 15 years down the road.
Right.
And that's why it's important to always be thinking about having, more than one stream of income. Even if your entrepreneurship efforts is part-time, that full-time thing is going to get old at some point.
Yeah.
And if you don't have a succession plan or a next steps plan, then you're going to find yourself after having done your own thing for so long. Now you got to go get a job, which is moving backwards.
It really is, because I know people that retired from a company after 20, 30, 40 years.
Yeah.
And now they say, "Oh, I'm just going to go to Walmart and be a door or whatever." But standing on your feet as that person is not necessarily healthy. I'm not bashing any of it. But again, because you have to do what you have to do. When my job laid me off after 30 something years, I got divorced at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Now my faith says, okay, you depend on God. Man didn't take care of me to get to that point. Well, yeah, to that point and to this point. Yeah. So even at that point, I still had to do my part. The position that I had at the company I worked with was not something that was transferable into the regular arena, the regular world. It was more like, I was more like what do you call it? The technician in the back that use zeros and ones.
Specialized.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So once I was laid off and no longer had a job, I had to take a job that only paid me $6.
Sure. Yeah.
I have to take when I got $8, I was excited. When I got $10 an hour, I was excited.
I'm gonna come up.
Yeah. So and then it's funny, even with services, I needed help, and I was $5 away from help. Mm-hmm. I don't want to say the government, but one of those helps to where I'm like, $5. Can y'all just give me $5? Because I just need to keep my lights on.
Right.
So the thing about it is, just living in this world, if you're open and don't get stuck in those places where you are in lack, just don't get stuck. Right. Be open to letting someone help you, letting someone guide you. But when they try to help and guide you, be open to the help. Right. And not just saying, "Oh, I didn't," "Oh, I don't." Just
be open. And it's kind of funny that you say that, because Black people love to talk about prayer, but we don't realize that sometimes when something shows up, that's the blessing that you prayed for. But because you're not open, you miss it.
Exactly.
So you got to pay attention to what's coming, because things happen for a reason.
They do happen for a reason. A lot of times we're just trying to get over this thing to get to the next.
And we're only looking for it to come a certain way.
A certain way.
Right.
Yes. Well, if it's not gonna come that way, and again, I was just open, and even now, I'm always open to whatever someone shares with me. I love this platform that you have, because it's always about a conversation. Yep. So the ripple effect, one successful entrepreneur can employ many people, and which is true. So as an entrepreneur, again, you can work with whoever you want to work with. And again, time is one of our most best commodities. So I'm one of those people, if you don't want to work with me, I love you and I understand, because, you can't work with everybody, and that's just how it is. Businesses circulate money within the community. I love keeping my money amongst us as best as I can, but that's not always the case. So again, you just have to find the right people that you can work with. Businesses, younger generations gain role models. So they do. If you talk to business owners that have, and how much time do I have left? Am I finished?
Oh, you good? No, you got about 4 minutes, maybe.
Okay, and I'm not sure how many pages.
I think we only got one left.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, 2.
So yeah, so the younger generation can gain role models. So a lot of the younger generations are open. They just need to sometimes just be open and hear and see how they can navigate to whatever business model or business that they like to do, whether it's exercise or fashion, because I just met a young lady a couple of weeks ago that's in fashion. So our children have these ideas. We just need to figure out as their parents and grandparents on how to navigate them to. I remember when my daughter was little, my husband at the time would say, well, which sport do you want to do? Just choose a sport, And so when she did choose dance, he's like, well, that's not a sport. But nowadays,
Well, actually,
it is a sport, exactly. So we just have to work with our children because we definitely don't want them to start doing something because we want them to do it, and then it never goes anywhere because it's our dream and not their dream.
Yep.
And then ownership builds community pride. As you are an owner of whatever it is you do, you have pride in that because you usually have a mission and a vision. Because if you're doing it to help people out, whatever your vision and goals are. Last screen, please.
Real quick, do you ever have an opportunity to speak to young people, young groups about entrepreneurship?
No. Yes, as a matter of fact, my daughter is out of high school, out of college, and her teacher,
Okay.
Her teacher actually invited me back to.
Okay.
Her teacher is still teaching, and she is. It was sixth grade school, and I got to go in and talk about being an entrepreneurship because even some of the jobs that you're on. I have another friend that works on airplanes, motors.
Okay. And
so it's not just about the things you see in your neighborhood.
Yep.
But it's about having a bigger vision of where you can go.
Yeah.
Even if it's a job,
yeah.
Get into those jobs that via aviation, in aviation, work on motors of airplanes and those type of things. There's a lot more out there that you have access to.
Yeah.
Okay. And so teach financial literacy. It's best to teach financial literacy early because we were not taught that. Actually, we were taught it by watching because my dad only had a sixth grade education. But if I tell you, he knew his math.
Okay.
There was nothing he didn't know because even though he's had a sixth grade education, he learned how to read.
Okay.
He bought a house.
Okay.
So my grandparents had a house. My parents had a house, we have a house. So when your children see, you don't necessarily, when I say financial literacy, you can show them by doing, not necessarily sitting down, even though those are a lot more conversations we do need to have nowadays. Expose youth to business ownership. Support Black-owned businesses, and then just mentor young entrepreneurs. I've run into, because I do a lot of networking events, I've seen so many young people now, the young people are having their children become entrepreneurship. There's one young lady that sells lemonade. There's another young lady that is reading her own book. Okay. So when you're out there and go to all these different places, you run into all these different people.
Okay, really quickly, how'd you get into crypto? That's a big deal.
Actually, one of my children was learning it years ago.
Okay, not this.
Actually, she wasn't doing crypto.
Okay.
She was doing currency.
Okay.
And at my age, people are like, I don't believe in that. I don't want to.
Don't believe in what, currency?
Well, a lot of us don't know about currency.
Wait, someone told you they don't believe in currency?
Well, not really believe in it, but trading.
Oh, trading. Okay. All right. Come on now, mama. All right, yeah. And it's kind of sad that people say that, but don't understand that that's how the world works.
It is.
Yeah, you don't believe in it, but you do it every single day.
And people don't know that.
Yes, ma'am.
And I never left the United States of America and went to Thailand to see that I had to exchange the US dollar. Okay. For that.
You actually went to Thailand?
I actually went to Thailand.
Okay.
I would have never known or seen that was possible.
Right.
So now I know what currencies are. Okay. So then I did start learning it some. Okay. So now I know the US dollar, all of those different currencies. Now I know and understand. Now Bitcoin is something totally different. Completely different. And completely different. And it's not something I would do on my own. Okay. So we can talk about that offline later.
So we're gonna have Maya come speak at some point?
I don't know. No. She is not that person. She's like, Mom, you go do your thing. All right,
okay, cool. Yeah, because I'm only saying that because we have to have a conversation about the changing vocabulary with the economics and finance of the world. Yeah. Because we as a community, we're going to be left behind if we don't understand all that stuff. Yeah. Because it's a big deal. It really is.
It really is. Yeah. And I'm amazed myself. But again, I'm so grateful that I learned from young people. Yeah. Because they have so much to bring to the table.
Yes, ma'am.
you know,
Yeah.
so, but I am not the person to bring in about that conversation.
Keep that in mind.
I'm not that person. So, but okay, call to action. So start with an idea and a passion. Take your ideas, take your passion to just go out and do something. Whether it's connect, whether it's build your own business or whether it's connect with someone else. And then invest in education and mentorship. A lot of for instance, one of the things that I do in leadership, we read a book a month. Now I may not read all of those books because thankfully there's Audible. So I make Audible when you're driving or riding, you can make that your college, your education. So that's one of the things that I do. And then protect your business and finances. A lot of times, whether it's our home insurance or whatever, legal services can help protect those. If you're business owners, it's good to, you may say, yes, I have an attorney. The good thing about that attorney is that's your attorney, but this is services you can have alongside it because it's only a certain amount of money. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say only $37.95 a month, which is nothing compared to $300, $400, $500 an hour. As well as if you need your will. Someone called me the other day about a trust, and they're like, "Well, I'm getting ready to pay $3,000 for a trust." Well, with our services, you don't have to pay $3,000 for a trust. So those are just services that are available. And then build something that will outlive you. They say if you have a job, you won. That's scary because that's only one income.
Yeah.
And when you stop working, you're gonna stop getting paid.
Yeah.
So you should have something that's continually paying
By
you.
all means.
So that if you get sick, I remember long years ago, I used to go to work with a migraine headache, with a cold or whatever. You can't do the migraine headache you do the work with now. They're not trying to let you into work anymore.
Right.
With some type of cold because you don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But when you can't go to work and you don't get paid, something needs to be going in.
Mhm.
So that's where it's have your job, but have something else on the side that can bring you income while you're not working.
Right.
Is that my last page or do I?
Let me see. That I think that's the last one.
Awesome,
Yep.
awesome. So thank you all again for being here. I appreciate it. Thank you for the invitation.
You're welcome.
Tamani
You're
to be
welcome.
here. I have thoroughly enjoyed it and I hope I answered everyone. Do y'all have questions? Are we still live or we are?
We still out.
Okay.
But they don't have any questions. And
Do y'all have any questions? Okay,
Right.
awesome.
Cool. All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. All right. Thank you again. All right. So really, no problem. Thank you, Mike. So really important. If you guys Laverne, I'm going to send you both of you guys my presentation from last week.
Okay.
Because I want you to the first video. I showed a few video clips, but the first one was a guy talking about how the Trump administration is making money off the cryptocurrency changes and the changes in the global financial system. And it wasn't about Trump so much as it was about this new economic financial system that's coming into play that we don't have a clue. And not just we, poor people, period, don't have a clue. Most people don't have a clue about. So we have to find people like yourself who are in certain entrepreneurial spaces that we can get into no matter what they are, because it can serve as a foundation that you can build upon, learn something. And I'm glad you said networking a few times. I always say that everything Black people need, Black people have, Black people don't know because Black people don't talk to each other.
Exactly.
Right? And if we're not networking with our own people, and that don't mean you don't network with other people. Of course you do, because it's business.
Exactly.
But if you don't network with your own people, you don't know what you're missing.
Yeah.
And more often than not, if they look like us, they're more inclined to help us because there's a connection there. So we have to understand that things are changing across the board. And if we don't utilize the opportunities that exist so that we can not only prepare for the changes, but benefit from the changes, then we're going to mess around and become a permanent underclass in the country that wouldn't be here were it not for our people.
Yeah.
Right? So we got to understand how what you do matters.
Yeah.
We got to understand how your experience matters. We got to get more of our young people to, if nothing else, listen to what you're saying, because they might learn something. And even if you realize, okay, I heard her, it was great, it's not for me. At least now you know it's not for you.
Exactly.
But chances are you're going to figure out I can do something with that. I can build on that and I can go from there. So all of these things are in flux. And if we don't, like I said, I focus on 5 areas with this particular presentation: food, security, local business, politics, and developing our kids. There's a lot that we need to do. But if we don't do those 5 things, and I'm not talking about 20 years down the road, I'm talking about 3 or 4 or 5 years down the road, because so much is changing so fast.
Yeah.
And if we don't understand the changes, then we're going to be in a world of hurt. And I believe that if we don't put something in place soon, that's on automatic pilot. There's not gonna be any coming back because so much is happening. So the fact that you exist and you're willing to come out and speak, it matters because we have people that know what they're talking about in certain spaces.
Yeah.
And I venture to say that most people don't, if they know about Legal Shield, they don't know a lot. And I don't know how many know about ID Shield. Identity theft is a big deal for a lot of reasons. And if you can give a little bit of money every single month to ensure that you protect it just on your identity alone, that's the benefit. But it can also be a business if you have, the mindset. So all of that matters. So I just want to thank you again for showing up. Thank you, Maya, for being here. And we do have to find a connection with our young people because I don't want our young people thinking that this is just for older people. Because it's a two-way street. We need them and they most certainly need us.
Yeah.
And they have a tendency to think that if you have gray hair, you don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
Which is not right. And we have a tendency to think that just because they're young, they don't know what they're talking about, which is not right. So on that note, we want to thank you guys very much for being here. What you got?
Now I was asking her about the top line. We can talk later. Okay, we can talk later.
You sure you want to talk later? I mean,
Want me to talk?
it's up to
I
you.
have so much stuff that I can talk to you
All
about.
right,
So we can talk about how when you come back.
amen.
Yeah,
All right. So her daughter has 1,644 businesses. She gonna come back and talk about you. All right. Yeah, amen. And Maya, you have to tell me, but you look like you're under 25.
No, I'm not.
Well,
You talk like I
Hold on,
am.
black don't crack for real. Okay, so I'm only under 30.
I just turned 36.
But Lord have mercy, I tell you, and she's only 22. How you work it out? Okay, so I'm only bringing. I'm only bringing that up because if the four of us, Ms. Fontenot, Brother Will, Sister Laverne, and myself, if we say a certain thing to my 25-year-old son, he might hear us. But if you say the exact same thing, not because you're attracting a young woman, but because you're younger, he's going to hear you.
Yeah, that's it.
Then again, so it's important that we get you to represent what you know and what you do so that young people can hear it because we need each other. And we will whisper the good stuff to you, and then you will say to the young people, because if we say, they might not hear it. And it's amazing how that works.
Yeah.
I remember my son was trying to learn how to catch a football. I was showing him because I play football. I know, but he didn't hear me. He went to his friend's house the next day. Father showed him the same thing. Came in. Guess what I learned? Same thing I told him, but he didn't because I'm his dad. What do I know? So anyway, thank you for coming. We appreciate it. We will most certainly have a conversation by bringing you back. And this is why we do what we do. A lot of good, lot of support, a lot of opportunity in and around our communities. We always, you hear our people always talking about how much money flows through the Black community, but you don't hear conversations about how we can stop it and or control some of that flow. And we don't think that it only flows because we give it. But if you don't have an entrepreneurial mindset of not always giving so much, but trying to figure out how you can keep it, then you're always going to be giving. And if you're always giving, they have an agenda. That money is not being reinvested in our spaces. That goes somewhere else, right? So we got to have that entrepreneurial mindset to understand, okay, well, how can I keep some of this? More importantly, how can I use it to make my life better and the life of my community and my family better? And unfortunately, we haven't had the best relationship with economics, finance, money, and whatnot. Has not been a part of our culture, and we got to change that. Which of course is possible with people like you. So thank you again for coming out. And we're going to talk to Maya about getting her on the schedule. Then we'll go from there. So thank y'all very much. And we will see you guys next Thursday. Thank you very much. I'm going to click off. We'll be gone. I'm sorry, Lauren, you have any announcements, anything, events, anything you want to talk about?
No.
No? Okay.
Actually, I do.
Okay.
Okay. I'm actually having a Legal Shield event in Dallas, Fort Worth, this coming Saturday. Also, another event here in Houston on March 21st. Follow me on @LaverneEmpowers.com and you'll see the information there.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Y'all have a good day, and we will see y'all next Thursday. Oh, one more thing. Come on, Black woman.
And then there's also a real estate event. Brooks and Davis is putting a real estate event on, and that will also be on LaverneEmpowers.com.
All right. Thank you.